Hello, I hope everybody's
Hey,
doing
y'all.
good tonight. I got my dog sitting here breathing on me.
That's not nice to call me a dog.
Not you, my dog. Come here,
Oh.
May.
Okay.
Come here, May. Hey, come here.
He called me a dog.
I ain't call you a dog.
I know. I was kidding.
I'm a little bummed tonight. I spent 16 hours editing a video for our other channel, and something went wrong, and I lost all of it, every bit of it. Can I download it? And I've been working on it all day trying to save that video, but looks like I'm gonna have to do it over again. So that's I'm not a happy camper because of that. I hope everybody's doing good. Anything new that I need to know about? I've been searching the internet a little bit for remedies tonight for all day for this, so I didn't really have a chance to follow up on everything. I did look at find out if there was anything new on what we're talking about tonight, but other than that, no. Maggie, but my dog's here. She's over here breathing on his fear, something panting. Moses is in the chair, and Gracie's down there in the floor. I'm gonna turn this around real quick. Maggie's right there, and I don't know if you can see Moses. He's right there in the chair. I don't know where Gracie's somewhere down there.
Hey, they said you look good in your red shirt. Tell them what's going on.
My daughter and me. My daughter, before we came up here, we had this little discussion about Alabama shirts. You know, Alabama football team, Roll Tide. You know, we're big Alabama fans. She said, you know, I've got more shirts than you do. And I said, no, you don't. I can surpass you on shirts. And she said, no. She said, okay, I got an idea. Let's have a friendly competition every day for at least 2 hours during the day. I wear it all day, but for at least 2 hours in the day, that you've got to wear your Alabama shirt, and I'll wear my Alabama shirt. We'll take a picture, and we'll kind of mimic each other. We're doing weird stuff, funny stuff, and see who can outlast. You can't wear any shirt twice. You can't go out and buy any more new shirts, but we'll see who has the most shirts, coats, stuff like that. No, it doesn't count for purses. Has to be apparel. It can't be like Dina's got an Alabama purse. She might have Alabama shoes. She might have Alabama hats. No, it has to be only shirts or like pullovers, sweats, or jackets. So,
or sweatpants.
Sweatpants?
Sweatpants count, but I gave yours one because they had paint all over them.
Thanks.
I know, sorry.
But we're going to see who makes it. Right now, we're tied, but we'll see. Excuse me. I went to sleep for about an hour, and when I go to sleep during the day, it always monkeys my system up.
Hey, Boomer.
Hold on one sec. I got something on my nose. I don't know what it is.
It's your hand.
No, it's something else.
Uh-oh. Tina said, go Clemson Tigers.
We will see this year. Obviously, you know, speaking of Clemson, we're probably going to get your coach when Saban retires. We're going to offer him $100 million or something. He'll come down there and be Alabama. I love Dabo Swinney. He is a super good Christian guy, and he is a super good guy. We would love to have him if Saban ever leaves at Alabama. You know, he went to Alabama and played for Alabama, so
See,
that would be an easy fit.
Even Candalee said you called me a dog.
I did not call you a dog.
We're kidding.
All right. Well, I want to talk about some things today. We're going to get on this Summer Wells thing. It's I've got some ideas on this, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to cover a couple of others today also. We have another American Indian lady missing, and it was a sad story about that. But I do want to cover this gentleman here. Dana, can you read his name there, his last name?
No. I would not even begin to guess that.
Okay. Robert James is spelled Qucsai the third, 42 years old, a white male, brown hair, brown eyes, 5'10". Details are that Robert was last seen entering Cummins Falls State Park at approximately 1:30 p.m. Wednesday, February the 3rd, 2021. His car was found in the parking lot. There was no sign of him. He was last seen wearing pants and a gray hoodie. He is also an attorney, and I read, see if I can get down to my notes. His father and his brother talked to Robert at 4:30 the day he went missing. He was already middle of the park. He had sent them some beautiful pictures before he talked to him. Before they talked to him, he was upbeat. Rangers called about 6:30 because they had closed the park and they found his car. We didn't think anything at the time. This is the father talking. We had just talked to him 2 hours prior. We told him he probably wandering in the woods. Told them that he was probably wandering in the woods doing his thing. I told him he'll be back soon, and that was it. Carl traveled back to the park at Blackburn Fork State Scenic River near Cooksville, Tennessee, to pick up his brother's car. So Carl is the brother, and his belongings. Said he hiked the rugged trail to the 75-foot waterfall. They did an exhaustive search 3 days in February, looking and using technology, dogs, horses, but found nothing. It said, "I truly believe he is still out in the park," his brother said. "At this point, we want some type of closure." On Wednesday, Kim Skofitsky, Deputy Communications Director for Tennessee Department of Environmental and Conservation, said there were no updates. "We do not have any information. We're continuing work with the TBI," and that's the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, to follow up on any leads that may come in, she said. And that is just bad. A guy goes hiking in the park, and he basically just disappears. And there was no reason, they said, that he would be out, trying to disappear on his own. But, you never know. You just never know what's going on. This is a female that said, "We just want to know she's okay." Family desperate for answers after Pennsylvania mother vanishes in Sun Lakes. Gabrielle Cappetta, mother Julie Ann Cappetta, was visiting her father in Sun Lakes when she went out for a walk on July 10th and never came back. And I watched their son do a a conference, news conference, and he said basically that she left all of her car keys, phone, everything in the house, and that was unusual that she didn't carry her phone with her. But you think about this: if she just wanted to walk around the neighborhood, or whatever reason, she might have left her phone. But it's kind of, or she might have got it. I'm gonna have to go up bigger on these so I can read it, because Dina's not here to help me out right now. Sun Lake, Arizona. Cabela, I can't even pronounce her name now. Gabriel Cabela sat exhausted on his grandfather's living room floor. I guess in his grandfather's living room, his family gathered and silently sat and talked about his mother, Julia Ann Cappetta, who has been missing since last Saturday. We haven't found any clues, leads, nothing to point us to the right direction, he said. We don't even have a place to start and couldn't tell if she was alive or not. We are just struggling. And he was crying, and he was very, very much struggling. His mother flew from Pittsburgh on July the 1st to visit her dad, Richard, in Sun Lakes. The family said she went for a walk Saturday morning about 9:30 a.m. while her father was out running errands. When he returned hours later, there was no sign of his daughter, but her cell phone, purse, identification were in the house. That's not like her. She usually has her phone on her. She has a MP3 player to listen to music while she's on her walk, but to just leave the house and nothing isn't right, they said. And I understand where they would think that if Dina went out for a walk and she didn't have her phone, I wouldn't freak out about her not having her phone, but because she's left her phone at the house or even our business when we had it on occasions. But apparently for her, it's very strange. Let me go up here and again.
Somebody said, Boomer said, look into David Pauldy's missing 411.
Mm-hmm.
There are a disturbing number of people coming up missing in and out of national and state parks. Yes, there are.
Yeah, we talked about that before. There is, and a lot of it's just people going off trail, and they have an accident like that lady we knew that my cousin knew that did that up in Appalachian Trail. But the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office is also working with this, along with tribal police, because she was an American Indian. And said, we've been on social media with missing and murdered indigenous women's groups, said to her sister-in-law, who flew in from South Dakota to help with the search. So, this is, even this may just be a coincidence that she is American Indian, but for all the stuff that is going on, no, hold on a minute, I'm in the wrong spot here. For all the stuff that's going on, you don't think about that, but she very well could have been harmed just because of that. Julia's Lakota, with the family ties to Cheyenne River Sioux tribe. 53 years old, mother of two, 5'6", 120 pounds, light brown hair, highlights, green eyes. The family said she was wearing pink and lavender shirt, white shorts, white tennis shoes. The Maricopa Sheriff's Office confirmed with 12 News that her phone showed no recent activity in or out. Her family added that she hasn't used Facebook for years, and her last communication with Gabriel and her brother were both live in Pittsburgh. $10,000 reward basically has been given for information leading to her whereabouts. Says none of this feels real. Where I should be emotionally every time I'm in Arizona, I think I'm on vacation, but then it comes back that my mom is missing. I don't know how to process it right now. And you got to admit, I mean, your mother goes down to see her dad. That would be like Medina going down to see her dad, and all of a sudden she goes out for a walk and she disappears. I mean, I can't think about how.
You know they'd bring me back.
I can't think about how emotionally disturbed this young man is that his mother, that went out for a walk, just disappears. Arizona, I'm going to tell you something about Arizona. I'm not too sure how far it is from Phoenix, but Phoenix is the number one place for kidnappings in the USA. Julia's family pleading for the public to help find her. I know coming forward can be a concerning factor for a lot of people that might have second guesses, but if you know anything, the slightest detail, anything will help. The family is offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to her. Please come home. We miss you. We just want to know you're okay. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is urged to call authorities immediately. Maricopa Sheriff's Department or the Gila River Police Department, which is a tribal, we understand, a tribal police department. So yeah, that would be. I can just imagine. I wonder how far that is from Phoenix. I'd like to know myself. Um, but if we're gonna still, I'm gonna still keep in touch with this case because this is it's kind of baffling even to me that with all the stuff that's going on, how somebody, especially she doesn't use Facebook, she doesn't know anybody down there. Her phone, they checked her phone. It doesn't look like she's been in contact with anybody down in that area before or after. So you got to wonder what in the world, what in the world happened to her. It's baffling, really baffling. Uh, we're going to discuss some more about Susan Summer Wells. I've really been reading a lot. What gets me is, and this is if I want to refer back to the Morphew case a little bit. This is almost exactly the father of Summer is doing almost exactly the same thing as Barry did. He is going after the media and are going after social media a lot for. He said that there's a lot of bad information coming across social media and that they're getting a raw deal on social media, and people are supplying leads, false leads on social media and slowing down law enforcement, which they said they've gotten over 1,000 leads on social media, but none have panned out. 1,000 and not one has helped their case at all. But I feel like I know the reason why it hasn't helped their case, because I don't think that's where they're going to find it. I did listen to one of their pastors from Seventh Day Adventist Church say that he believed that people were convicting him on the social media, convicting the family, and he just did not believe that the family was involved. Or he didn't even say he didn't believe. He said they're not involved. I don't know how he can be 100% sure they're not involved, but I guess you can believe it. You can believe that they're not involved. We remember here was the flowers they were supposed to plant inside these little rock garden things. This is one of the pictures that came out from that. And I did listen to her statement again. She did say in her statement that the grandmother was out there helping plant flowers, which I think that's a little hard to believe because she just had knee surgery. I don't think her grandmother's going to be down on the ground planting anything. And the grandmother supposedly gave the child a piece of candy. There's again the picture of sleeping on the milk on the way home, and I guess they didn't put the milk in bags there. That's something else I kind of noticed is kind of weird. I saw another picture of there's an arm. They show a different view of the seat. And there's an arm over the front of this, over the back of the seat, like somebody's sitting back there with her. So I don't know if that's it or not. The father or one, let's see if I can get back to it here. He's throwing another idea out there, and this is getting back to what I believe like the Barry Morphew case is. He threw that out that she didn't go down the driveway, that she went through the woods. She was taken through the woods over to Ben Hill Road, which that is exactly the road they live on too, is Ben Hill Road. So it must be the road must cut back around. He says, we had several people sneaking around here. We've had them sneaking around at night, Wells told the paper. Speaking of his 11-acre property on Ben Hill Road, we've never hold on just a minute. We got a burglar alarm going off there. Maggie. See, we've never had someone up at 5:30 up there at 5:30 in the afternoon that we know of. They didn't come up the driveway. They came up the dog trail from the woods. The police canine dog that they used, that's where the scent took them. Down through the woods, not the driveway. At Ben Hill Road is where the dog's scent ended. And, you know, I was under the impression that from something, maybe I heard another YouTuber talking about or whatever, but I was under the impression that it was scent ended at the mailbox. So maybe I don't know where I got that from, but maybe y'all can give me some ideas on that. I just think, you know, he's doing exactly kind of like Barry did, and I'm not saying they're guilty. I'm just saying there's a lot of similarities of leading people in different directions than what's been reported. You know, I don't think he needs to be the one reporting it anyway. I think the police do. Investigators still looking for the red pickup truck, possibly a 1990s Toyota that may have been in the area when Summer went missing on June 15th. It's been a month now, over a month. It had full-size ladder racks and white buckets in the bed. Summer disappeared, also promptly led county leaders to look if they can improve their preparedness for cases in case something like this happens in the future. They also have got two more search teams in the area. I think they've got like a couple, I don't know if Texas, a crew out of Texas, Echo Search. There's been a couple of other search teams that are in the area right now searching on horseback and on four-wheelers and stuff like that. Said, I wouldn't support ending the search with credible leads if we had them because of the financial shortfall. I guess the sheriff told Fox News that's not part of the conversation at all. You know, I feel like the sheriff up there has really done everything he can as far as the search goes. I'm sure that he's got, they've got their hands full as far as the area because you've got such a vast area. So they move in, Now I'm sure it's more of a recovery situation rather than trying to find her alive. I mean, a 5-year-old girl, if she did wander in the woods, even been taken into the woods. What is that?
It's a plane.
Okay.
The plane.
And been taken in the woods and left in the woods, maybe to wander around, is not going to survive 30 days. It's just not going to happen. Not without getting some food somewhere. Don Wells and the mother told media that they believed that she was lured out of a rural home and taken. Wells and Bly have not responded to Fox News attempts to reach them for comment. Both have criminal records in other states. They were reportedly taken a lie detector test. Here's what it says. They've reportedly taken and passed a lie detector test in connection of Summer's disappearance. I would love to know if that was true, if they did take the lie detector test, and if both of them passed it. That does not guarantee that they're innocent, but that would go a long way for me to believe that they don't know what's going on. I would really love to know. Authorities have not publicly announced any person of interest or suspect in the case. TBI investigating assistant agent in charge, Shelley Smitherman, said that's frustrating for law enforcement in a video shared on Tuesday. Typically, an Amber Alert within a couple of days, we get a tip that lead to an idea that they've been abducted. And let me say something too. And I listened to a YouTuber before we came on a little bit, and she was saying that only 3.5% of the total missing people that were actually taken by a stranger. 3.5%. So it's very, very low amount that are of people that are abducted by a stranger. Very low. That's either somebody they know, or they've run away, which in this case I think is far-fetched to think that a 5-year-old would just run out the back and head into the woods and take off. You got, and as far as somebody coming to the house, we discussed this a lot. How can somebody approach the house with 20 dogs in the yard? And the mother claims that she was out of the house for 2 minutes. That's what she said. And she disappeared for 2 minutes. The only other thing that we haven't really thought of too is maybe somebody was in the basement already. Maybe, maybe somebody was in the basement, had broke into the. Yeah, there's just so much stuff. You got kids upstairs. You got 2 young boys upstairs watching TV in the kitchen, which I don't know if they had a living room or how the house is blocked out. So you got them in the area up there that could have been in harm's way. And then you have, she goes down into the basement and then immediately disappears. And the only way I can see that happening is somebody was waiting in the basement for her to come down and had known some way that she was coming down, or had waited in the basement. To me, that's just kind of far-fetched, because apparently they were in the house before they decided to go outside and plant the flowers, And so, I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff, unanswered questions. But I would really like to know if they did take a polygraph and pass the polygraph. Just because they say it, in the news. I mean, what I read on the internet doesn't mean it's true. I would really like to know that if she did that, if they did take a polygraph and pass it. Has anybody heard anything like that? And here's another thing too. I know he said, did the boys see her? That's a good question, because I'd like to know if, I would like to know if, did they bring the boys in? I know that the boys were taken um, by Department of Human Resources, I think, away from the home for a while. Annie, you said they did not pass polygraphs. Did you know that 100%? Or is that what you're hearing? Or do you know that to be fact that they did not pass polygraph? I would love to know. It says polygraph are used to investigate too. They are, and I'll say that we've discussed polygraphs all during the Barry Morphew case, and like I said, I have taken 6, maybe 7 polygraphs in my life. I took one for every police job I ever had. I took one for some as a part of training for the police academy. I had them set me up with a polygraph, and they told me to intentionally lie about some things and see if the polygraph picked it up. And then I took a polygraph. I've taken about 5 or 6 of them anyway, and for jobs, mostly for jobs with police departments, or doing other jobs within the police department that they need you to take a polygraph for. So I've taken one. They're no big deal. I'd take one today if they needed me to take one. But
In an interview, you took one?
I took one for twice to get hired for police departments where, I really wanted the job. So what they do and the way they do a polygraph is this, and it's pretty much every polygraph's like this. They'll interview you first for about 2 hours, and they'll ask you everything in the book about, especially for a job, or for like this case, what they would do with this, they would ask him to go over their story, and they would pick at a lot of stuff about the story during the interview. And then prior to giving the polygraph, they would give them a copy of what the questions are for that they're going to ask. They would leave it with them, and then they go out of the room. So you sit there and go over and look at these questions. And these are questions like, do you know where Summer's at? Did you have something to do with her disappearance? Do you know who took her? Is Summer alive? Whole bunch of stuff. Have you lied to the police? Have you taken any drugs to interfere with the polygraph? Just a whole bunch of stuff like that. So what the questions are coming up. That. So that's what makes the mind say, if you're going to lie about it, they'll get nervous about it every single time. There's not, the body cannot not respond. They've got a thing over that monitors respiration. They've got a thing over your stomach that monitors respiration. They have a thing that monitors your heartbeat. They monitor your sweat on your fingers, your blood pressure. So it's very, very, very hard to lie, even when that's what they want you to do. Like when I was polygraphed for the police academy, we had a bunch of rookies in there. They put me up to, and they said, this is the one that's incredible hard to get this thing to make sure that you can see what's going on. But they still were able to show my body did have a reaction to certain things that I knew I was not telling the truth, And they what they do like this, they say also at the front of the test, they say, now, what is your name so-and-so? And of course they say yes. Do you live at so-and-so drive? They'll say yes. Say, okay, I want you to answer yes to the following questions, even though these questions will not be true. They'll hold up a red card. Is this card black? And you say yes. And your body's going to respond that you lied about that, even if it's not, you're not nervous or anything like that. It will respond a little bit, showing how even a minor lie will a white lie, or they're telling you to lie. You react, and then they go from there.
Will they let you? Will they let a person take a polygraph that's on meds?
They don't care. Regular medication probably won't affect it, but if they take a Xanax, or they smoke marijuana, or they take an opium, that can affect the results, because it does affect the heart rate, it does affect the blood pressure, and it does affect things like that. But what they'll ask you in the polygraph, they ask you, have you taken any medication in order to beat this polygraph? And that in itself will make you respond to that if you have, and you say no. So it's not 100% positive, but it is, if it was me and I had the opportunity to polygraph her right now, anyway, no matter what kind of medicine she was on, I probably would polygraph him anyway. I think there was an accident cover up on the thing. It makes sense. No abduction. Yeah, I've we've, let me sit up a little bit. We've discussed, an accidental drowning, a dry drowning, and panicking over that and something happening.
And we learned something about the dry drowning, that it can happen even weeks later.
Right. I didn't know that.
I thought
it was a couple of days,
Most people on here believe that it was an accident that happened, and now there's a cover up.
Yeah. And you said, Teresa says, you said you recall being a big deal about no drug test before the polygraph for Chris Watts. Yeah, but he failed his polygraph. I mean, big time. And then that broke him down, knowing that he knew they had him. He knew that. They are a very useful tool, but they are a tool. They're the reason why they are admissible in court is because they have not scientifically said that if you do this, you're lying. But see, they also can do a voice. What I hope they would do they would do a polygraph, and then right after that do a voice stress analysis, or either at the same time, where you can tell if the voice, or maybe while they're questioning, do a voice stress analysis. But the other day, as messed up as she seemed to be in that interview she did on the news, she just, to me, just seemed like she was messed up. But yeah, and I know that that Wells guy, which isn't that the father or her husband? I don't know if that's the girl's father, but he, he may not know everything, or he may know enough to say, don't say anything else. This is the story. We're doing this. I don't know about sleep deprivation affecting the polygraph. You remember the polygraph is things that affect the polygraph are blood pressure, nervousness, sweat glands, your respiration.
Think about when you get exhausted, Doug.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
When I get exhausted, I get antsy. I feel like I'm crawling out of my skin.
Yeah.
We'll be watching TV at night, and my legs go to twitching and stuff. And I tell Tommy, it's time for me to go to bed. I can't stay up any longer. And he's like, can we watch the last 15 minutes of this show? And I say, no, I got to go now.
Yeah. What Joy was saying.
Supposedly she called to tell husband about her failing, but
Her fault. It's gossip. Well, you know, the one thing that kind of bothered me about this case is the grandmother and the mother. They all went to the pharmacy to get something, and the mother says, "Oh, while we're waiting on them, we're going across the road and go swimming in a kind of a
dirty
creek or whatever." It's just, I don't know. I just never did. It may be the way they grew up over there. That may be the way it is, but I just don't. See, Dana, scoot over me a little bit by me if you want to.
It's hard to lean over there next to you.
Because I'm so big.
I did not say that.
But you know, I just don't.
I'm reading.
I don't see that, you know. Yeah, and then you know, the 15-year-old boy that's down there.
Yeah, she called him H. That's what she was doing. Okay, sorry about that, Joy.
Yeah, 15-year-old boy.
The one thing I find funny is all the different stories about what happened. You know, mom went for a walk. Then she was in the basement. She was outside planting flowers, all that stuff. But when the grandmother was taking a picture, and she said, was her arm up? I wanted to get a picture with her arm up. And
do y'all listen to that on broadcast? The Hawkins County scanner. Do they broadcast stuff about this search? Because we always put everything on stuff like this. We put everything on our private channel. I don't know.
I didn't like that. We look too big.
I'm trying to turn that off right now, but
I hadn't seen Grandma interviewed. Have you?
Haven't seen Grandma on anywhere.
No, I mean, Australia. Hey, Vala from Australia. Thumbs up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thumbs up, Australia. Woohoo! Kingsport area for 59 years. Annie has, and would never
take kids to the fishing hole they went to. Well, you know, my dad and mom used to own a place out on the lake in a little place called Elk River. It's in the northeast corner of the state of Alabama, and in some of those places out there, it looks like a swimming hole. It looks like the water's green. I mean, you know, but it's not stagnant. I mean, it may have logs and stuff in it. And I've been swimming in that place 1,000 times, you know, and we used to do crazy stuff like me and my cousin go out in the middle of the river, grab a hold of the anchor and jump off the side of the boat and see who could touch the bottom of the river. And the only way we could prove it is we'd bring up mud on our feet. And that's just crazy because you ain't no telling what you're going to hit down there on the bottom or how deep it is. But that's just crazy kids growing up. But my mom and daddy never took me somewhere like that and said, at 5 years old, and said, you go ahead and go swimming in this creek. It's just not going to happen.
Well, it's Teresa, I don't think, from what the mother said, I don't believe that the swimming was planned. In fact, I think in the picture she's in her clothes swimming.
Well, one thing is, I never saw the mother swimming, period. I never saw the mother on the side of the bank. The pictures I saw, she was swimming and this guy was swimming. 15-year-old was swimming, but I never saw the pictures of her. Never saw the mother. I don't know. I kind of think something's weird about that. Tell by the coloring of Summer if she was deceased in the back of the truck or just sleeping. Yeah, I read somewhere that the coroner or somebody that had that type of experience believed that the pictures of her leaning against the milk that she was alive. And if she was deceased, it wouldn't be very long, you know. I don't know too if they've had any cadaver dogs up there either. Less than 2 miles away from my beach, with its sticks, limbs, trash, perfect spot. It was less than 2 miles away from me. Wow.
But why the fishing hole?
Yeah, I've swam in places like that too, but I don't. I've never had my mother tell me, "Hey, let's go over here and swim while Grandma's getting her script filled." I don't know. It's just something weird about that. Uh, some doctors say she was in. Some say she was passed out. No, no. No, I don't think there were any fishing going on at what they were swimming. They were making. It didn't seem that. I don't. The whole thing is kind of weird though. You go to help your grandma buy some stuff at her prescription because she's got an injured knee, and then you wait for her by taking the kids swimming across the bank. Then also, she also talks about then they all go out in the yard and plant flowers when the grandmother had just had knee surgery or something like that. There's just a lot of question marks in my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, Polly said glass, fish hooks, nails, cans, debris of all sorts. I just would not let my children, but
But I'm gonna tell you,
but
back when where my dad had his fishing place, they would fish on the pier. They would go in boats off the pier, and we swam right off that pier every day.
well, I can do you one better than that. When we lived in Orange Beach, our kids swam in a canal where there were alligators.
Yeah,
We
swim in
didn't know it.
swim in the canal, swim in the lake where there were alligators too. So yeah, I know, and swim in the Gulf with their sharks and everything. I went scuba diving in the Gulf and saw a lot of barracuda and
We saw
everything.
lots of
So
sharks,
saw a lot of sharks.
but we
Yeah,
stayed out of their living room.
yeah, that's true.
We went to the front door, but that was
And
it.
that's as far as we went.
We told
Uh,
the sharks they can have it.
yeah, and when you live in the country, a lot of times that's the only place you got to swim. That the problem swimming in the swimming hole, that doesn't bother me one little bit. What gets me is if I take my grandmother or my mother or father to get their medicine, would I have time to walk across the street and take my kids to the swimming hole? Would I have time? And then why would I do that? Why? She's going to be wet. She's swimming in her clothes. She didn't like she came with her bathing suit. She's going to be soaking wet. They got to get back in the car and drive home after her grandmama had got this medicine. I mean, and yourself, even in the worst case scenario, you might have to wait 20 minutes.
Highlight valve. Go up and highlight valves. There.
I have it on good authority that where Summer swam was putrid. People will not even let their dogs go in the water. I can tell you from the video, there's it, which is excellent. It means mentioning in a channel. Means mentioning in a channel. Yeah, and yeah, I would just a lot of things about that water out there that
Yeah, that's a good question Terry's got.
Having an issue there with that.
So the grandmother was left at Walgreens to wait on her prescription while they went across the street and swam?
Yeah. I'm trying to get back up here just a minute. There's something I want to know. Yeah. Grandma, I believe, was left at hospital ER and went. Then 3 went to the lake and went to get her then at Walgreens. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the relationship is not what I would have with even my father. I wouldn't leave him in any type of state like that.
My dad threw me in a watering hole one time to teach me how to swim. Didn't work.
Hose, but kids make fun of me. Yeah. Yeah, cottonmouths, all kinds of stuff. It just doesn't make sense. If there's a lot of people saying that, first off, the biggest thing I have with this whole situation, it would
Is it Barbie Doll's birthday?
It would make more sense. Somebody said that she was having a birthday.
Barbie Doll, you got a birthday today?
Tomorrow, I think she says. Happy birthday. For sure, happy birthday. Is that you don't... I can't believe that... I become closer to believing she had a near drowning and she was accidentally... something happened to her and they panicked. Then I would believe that somebody snuck up in the house the 2 minutes she supposedly was gone and kidnapped her away from the house with 20 dogs in the front yard and the grandmother's trailer out there, and the mother supposedly, been gone for 2 minutes. Yeah, she was drinking, can't do stuff in public, had eyes on you. That's exactly right. Well, looking at the video that's out there with her in church, she's basically sleeping in church. I mean, everybody's standing up doing this. She's got a hoodie on. I mean, hey, I'm no saint now. I'll go to sleep in church in a second if the pastor's not preaching real loud. I don't know why. Every time I go to church, it puts me to sleep. Dina's been poking me.
You didn't go to sleep Sunday.
No, I didn't.
Tell them why.
Oh, I had to stand up every 3 minutes.
We went to an 1871, I think it was, church, Lutheran church. And the Lutherans, we're Pentecostals, but our daughter goes to the Lutheran church with her husband. And us Pentecostals, we stand up some, but the Lutherans are up and down. And
it's just a lot. It's so different. Lutheran religion is so different. The pastor will say something. It's on the certain type of what they say, and then the congregation will answer with the organ playing, saying a song. It's different, very different. But we went, and I'm glad I did. By the time they got home, she was dead. They panicked. Said they drove her far away, somewhere, wherever, then called 911. Yeah, I think that's a possibility. What we call that is secondary drowning. It's what we dry drowning, secondary drowning. It can happen. Apparently, it can happen like even a week later, which is really, said horse stables nearby and reported that full of bacteria, plus dogs had to go to groomers because of smell, place in private, do things that they will not be seen. Yeah, I don't think these dogs are the kind of dogs that they had around that house was the type of dogs they would care to the groomers. Yeah, Val, I agree with you on this. There was a video that was out there that supposedly the lady was saying, "Here, set her upright so we can make it
Her
look,"
hand,
or
her
something
arm.
like that.
Yeah.
Put her arm up like this or something like that. I don't know.
The guy, Boomer says, I'll say who gives me creepy vibe is the dude from their church with the flute. Something's off with that guy.
Well, I don't know that church. It's a Seventh-day Adventist church, and I don't know how they do up there. Um, I don't know.
Hey, we got 96 people watching and only 61 thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you don't like us, but we hope you give us a thumbs up. And by the way, y'all, I don't know if I posted on when we first started chatting. I posted we got interviewed by another group yesterday. It was about our RV channel, but they interviewed us for over an hour, and I posted the link. It's a YouTube. I posted the link for y'all guys to go and check it out. It was really neat. They contacted us and wanted to interview us, and they want to have us back one day. So anyway, if y'all want to check it out, you can.
I was just reading here. Yeah, I agree, Joey Catcher. But I was thinking too, if nothing was wrong and she did go swimming, I could. I don't know if it is for you, but if I swim for 30 minutes, I could sleep for an hour or 2 hours. It is where my kids could, especially. They would just tire them out. But if she doesn't really swim in this water, she's splashing around, and they only show the video I saw was like a TikTok video or something where they had 3 layers of her, but I didn't see the other.
Terry said an expert medical examiner reviewed the picture where Summer is resting on the milk, and she says 100% that Summer is alive in that picture.
Yeah, I agree with that. Her lips are red; they're not blue. There's not to say that she didn't have a secondary drowning experience, or maybe that her mother didn't even know she had that, because a lot of times, uh, you know, I say, and I tell everybody, if your child or yourself or whatever, if you have and you don't have to have CPR to get you back alive to think it's secondary drowning. You can just throw up water. If you get any water in your lungs, you need to be checked out. Any water in your lungs at all, coughing and all that kind of stuff, how can grandma be out there working on her knees after surgery when they're doing flowers? I just don't get it. I don't get it. And another thing, they've had 1,000 tips and not one tip has led to anything positive. 1,000 tips and not one. So that tells me that somewhere that they're probably looking at a different path other than what these tips coming in.
Okay, Joy had a good point. Let's see what Joy's point was up there. She may be alive, but not conscious.
Yeah, very well. She could have been alive but not conscious.
Polythene Pam says, I just don't understand if the accident, why parents would cover it.
Well, if one of the parents is stoned out of their mind, or they, or they don't realize the severity of what's going on,
Somebody says, what about the maroon truck?
Yeah, they haven't found the Maroon truck yet. I know that they are looking. Uh, I wish they would. So either rule them out or put them in jail. That's the thing. And to show you how people don't know about the severity of anything, we had this canal that ran out into the Gulf, and the water would, depending on the tide, it would be real swift. And they had this little bridge, walk bridge over it, and the bridge had signs all over it: "Do not jump from bridge. Do not dive from bridge." And I was working, and of course I was plain clothes, and I walked out there, and sure enough, the guy just dives off the bridge. Well, his friends carry him up on one side, and they lay him down on the bridge there. And I come over and I said, "Hey man, y'all need to get this guy checked out by the medics. Let me call somebody." Told him who it was. "Oh no, he'd be fine. Everything's good." And he was saying, "No, I'll be fine. I'll be fine." And I was saying, "No, you stay right where you are right now. You don't look good." And I called the paramedics. They landed a helicopter on the beach and took him to the hospital. He broke his neck. But now if he'd have got up, he probably be, and I don't know this day what happened to him, if he ended up being paralyzed or not, but he might have died if he'd have got up and just walked off with his friends. It would have maybe done something. So you just don't know if you have what you have, wrong with your body. And, it's just like me when I fell last week. I didn't think I was hurt that bad. I knew I was sore, very sore, but I've got some incredible bruising on me and knots, and probably should have went to the doctor to get checked out, but I just didn't do it.
Okay, listen. I think they went to the ER to cop pills. Her knee wasn't hurting that bad to go into a store and plant flowers.
Yeah.
It could be.
Well, I don't think it's an abduction. I just don't see how. And like we said, only 3.5%.
Oh, Aaron's in the house.
Oh, thank
when did
you.
Aaron
I
come in?
appreciate it.
Hey, Aaron.
Good to see you, Aaron. I'm feeling a lot better, Pam. I appreciate it. I'm still sore under my arm, right down here in this muscle is very sore, but other than that, I'm fine. Well, great, Aaron.
Yay.
Yes.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, that's really
Okay,
good.
Butterfly Kisses says, you think they could see if the truck that they were driving has a black box or an OnStar? Never know. I'm sure they're not.
1990, a Toyota, doubt it. And it sounds like they saw it on a truck cam. Sandra, that's what I heard too. TBI doesn't feel it's an abduction. Sorry about that, Barbara Doll. I think that what they probably did on this truck, they probably pulled. They start off in the county, and they pulled every Toyota pickup truck. They ran it through NCIC, every single Toyota pickup truck between 1990 and 2000. I think that's the years about what they saw. And then they narrowed it down for the color, and then they checked every single one of them out. They sent somebody to their house and they looked at it to see if possibly that could be the truck. And then if they found out that it wasn't in the county, then they went to the surrounding counties. But you got to admit, there could be 10,000 in the surrounding counties. There may only be 10 in the whole county. Surrounding counties might be 10,000. And then after that, then they would look at the state or the counties in states nearby. And that's a lot of work following up every single, going out to looking at every single Toyota and of that color, and then running it down and finding out every single one. And then it could be in another state. It could be a worker from, when I lived in South Alabama, we had tons of people from Pensacola and Florida that came over into our area, and from out of town workers from Texas and everything else. So, there could be millions of trucks. They just can't check them all. But I'm sure they ran down that type of truck, those year models in the county. And then they looked at the surrounding counties, and they went all the way up like this. But, I think they caught that truck on a game cam, is what it was. And somebody has a rack on top and white buckets in the back. They're probably like sheetrockers or some type of construction workers, or they could be carrying deer feed into the woods. They could be having a meth lab. They could be growing pot. I mean, a whole lot of things could be, because that area is known for meth up in there. So could be anything. And the fact that they haven't come forward yet to say, hey, we're okay. Thomas, the neighbor, reported the vehicle okay. Well, the fact that they haven't came by and said, hey, that's ours. We just drove up here looking for deer or whatever like that, tells me they probably were up there doing something illegal. Either meth lab, marijuana, going to poach deer, poach animals, delivering drugs, going up to steal stuff, burglary, theft, something like that. So, they can find that truck, but it's lots and lots of legwork. You just don't know how many people it's going to take to follow up on every single vehicle. But they can do it. They can do it. Anything else? Oops, I'm running. My battery's about to go dead. Hold on a second. Here, hold this just a minute.
Okay, if he goes dead, up, it will go to sleep. It's going to go to sleep.
Okay, I got it. Energy saving mode's off. I don't know what that means, but it helped me out somewhere or another. Yeah, that's true too. The walkie-talkies. And people talk in that area too, so I'm sure there's all kinds of information that they're getting. Even as far away as we are and being on the internet, I've gotten some emails for some people that give me some ideas, but I can't go there because I just don't know if they're true or not. So right now, I've been asked to hold some things close to the vest, and let's just hope that this thing will be resolved maybe in the next month. Let's hope it will anyway. Maggie? Maggie's sitting here staring at me just like...
Talk a lot of talk. I don't know who. Impressed.
Express.
I'm not.
I talk a lot of cock.
I don't know how to say that.
I'm a horrible pronouncer. If you watch me around here, I even got accused of being from Texas this week. So where are you from? Texas? No.
I told them I was trying to lighten it up, and I told them that I told you if I can't have you, nobody can. And I think you stay with me because you're scared. Either that or he doesn't know where his underwear is.
Yeah, right.
I do all the clothes and all the cooking, so he'd be out of luck if he left me.
I don't understand these guys that, they stay with a wife 30 or 40 years and leave them for somebody new, because you can't find good people. You can't find a good woman out there if you're hunting. If you're hunting for another woman, you're not going to find that perfect woman. And the type of woman that will run around with a married guy, I don't think that
That's definitely
they
not
would
what
do
you
it
want.
on you.
That's
If
right.
they do it on their husband, they'll do it on you. So yeah. EquiSearch Midwest, who is searching this weekend. I listened to another channel last night who interviewed Dave Radar. He's such a
Raider.
wonderful human being. Praying they find summer. Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, I call. Yeah, I understand. Um, um, I think they may recover her, but I don't think she's going to be found alive. I just don't
Now I will tell you this.
think.
Talking about those, I have told Thomas before, and I mean this: if somebody else can get him, they can have him because he ain't worth keeping. If somebody else can get him,
Yeah, that's true, and it goes both ways. I'm not worried about that, and
no,
you know, if I've got friends that have had their wives have left them actually for somebody else, and I promise you, they married somebody that looked just like them. It's the hottest thing. Um,
she
I just
was.
got you broke in. Why would I leave and get somebody else?
He did
um,
tell me once that if something happened to me, he was got to get him two 20-year-olds to take care of him. I told him he ain't wired for 220.
no. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that.
We do have a solid marriage. After 44 years of marriage and 48 years of being together, I wouldn't trade him for anybody else.
Wouldn't do another one, but you
No,
wouldn't.
that's right. I wouldn't train another one, but I wouldn't trade you for anyone.
If you just don't stop hitting my arm,
I'm
though, my
sorry.
sore arm.
I'm sorry. It doesn't look that bad. In fact, the
The
bruising's
bruising
gone.
is almost gone
Almost
completely.
gone.
Um,
T.S.
all
Jackson
righty.
said, I think they usually cheat with someone uglier.
Yeah, that is true. I don't understand that. Is I will see. I've seen some people that had got a divorce and actually got married again, and we were like, "Whoa, man, what is he thinking?"
Hey, I want to know. I hope y'all can see this. Look at this shirt I found. Let's see. The road to my heart is paved with paw prints. Is that not the cutest shirt? I got it today and I absolutely love it.
What's wrong with Gracie?
She's sneezing backwards.
Maggie, come here. See if Maggie can get her head up here. Come here. Come here. Come here, Maggie. Come here. Oh, goodness gracious. Maggie. Yes. Maggie's a good girl.
Oh gosh, Candalee said she was listening to a site this morning and they said a lot of people in the surrounding areas have not heard anything about summer.
Well, don't.
If they don't watch the news.
No, and a lot of people we report on, we've had people from that county say, I've never even heard about this before. And so, I don't know if it's just so rural that they don't, but like this week, we haven't had TV for the last 2 weeks because where we were parked. But she's fixing to start talking. I think she needs something.
You need to go back outside.
Let me show you this.
Maybe. You need to go back outside. Is that what's wrong? Do you need to go? Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, she needs to go. All right. Well, we're going to let you go. We will see you Thursday. Hopefully, even between now and Thursday, something is going to happen with these search teams.
Amen.
Maybe they're going to find some evidence. I'd love for them to find that truck and just rule out them, or maybe even get the person. It'd be great if somebody else is obviously involved.
Y'all, thank you for stopping by and chatting with us.
Yeah, and if you can, go over and check out our the number 1 million mile road trip. That is and thank you, Rhonda, for putting that up there.
I told you not to bring that ball in the house.
That's our RV channel, and you'll see a lot more of us there. And we are planning on doing some live streams and a whole bunch of other stuff on that. We got a lot of things planned for that. So y'all have a great night. We love y'all. We sincerely do. And we appreciate every one of you. We really do. And we hope we will see you back on Thursday. Good night.
Night.